So you guys, I was talking about creating your own rituals, regardless of what's going on, privately, personally. We made this child together, and that's what I think is missing in Black families today, is that regardless of who or what, it's like you lay down, you had this life form with this person. I don't care what's going on between the two of you. This shouldn't negate that. And we've still gotta like create moments of fun and memories and all these things. And what I realize is people's ego and the feelings in your emotional body, it fucks it up, right?
No, it's great. Now I'm looking at my home.
Not only that, I wanted to show you guys what we're trying to do because we have such a small family.
Yeah.
And Asir is always traveling and is always very busy on Fridays.
Shabbos.
Happy Shabbos. On Fridays, I spoke to him and I was like, we've got to create these moments for ourselves or they're going to pass.
We better.
Amor's going to get older. We're going to forget about times like this. And, you know, Amor's like, yo, I want to have my own channel. I want to do this, that, and the third. I'm like, look, son, in order for you to have your own channel, we have to contribute something that doesn't exist out there.
Yes.
And what I realize is that how do these ITAL vegans, you know, I was ITAL, strictly ITAL for years before I had Amor. And then it's like, all right, I'm pregnant, I don't want to be anemic, I don't want all these things, and lentils give me mad gas. I don't want to eat lentils and beans through my whole pregnancy. So how am I going to, you know, survive? And that's what I realized. A lot of vegetarians and natural raw foodists, you can't have children because you still have to remember that you're having a physical experience.
Yeah.
And that
I'm sorry, baby. Flavor, that's one thing the Queen was telling me about. Like, prior to me being blessed to be with this woman and know this woman, I grew up in a real southern based family, so they were really into, like, you know,
he doesn't know how hard
a lot
this
of
camera is. He has no idea.
Let me hold it then.
Okay, you can hold it, but you don't have to think.
I
I
was in a southern-based family and all of that, and they were really into, you know, meat and pork chops and all that type of stuff. So a lot of times they would make food and everything. As I got older and conscious, I wouldn't be able to eat. So it wasn't until I got conscious, you know what I mean, and started switching my diet and things like that years ago when I met the Queen.
Look at the squinter.
And she was telling me all about it.
Squinter.
Yeah, I don't got my glasses.
He got prescription glasses recently.
Yeah. So I say all of that to say, though, food is about flavor and flavor is about life. Oh, thank you, son. That's my son, my beautiful, helpful son, even though these are my shades. But it's really good. Food is about flavor. Life is about feeling and all that. And when you have food and don't have no flavor and it's all bland and all that, that says a lot about the person making it.
And, okay, so that was a great breakdown. Absolutely. Not negating anything he said. But what I wanted to do, because, you know, I have this cooking more with less. My dream is to hopefully be able to travel and to cook foods from around, you know, the world, different countries, show people the different ways that they can eat, not so extreme with a whole bunch of meat, because I don't eat anything but fish, but for people that don't eat fish, that's like, well, that's a strict, you know, Rasta or Ital culture, you know, there's got to be a medium of balance.
I came from a fisherman family, you know what I'm saying?
So for myself as well, coming from a fisherman family, I want to create...
Delawares, we all, sorry baby, we all ate fish and stuff like that. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to fish.
I want to be able to create a balance of both, so that if you do solely like rely on dairy and eat like a lot of, you know, dairy induced foods, you might be able to choose a recipe or follow something, you know, once a week. But for those that don't eat a lot of dairy, we're definitely a channel that you can tune into and hopefully learn something from, but also find a medium of balance where you can still feed your child an omelet, because there's certain developmental
egg white.
There's certain developmental properties in the albumin of the yolk. So things like this. Also, not just making people feel that if they don't eat this, that, and the third, that there's something wrong with them. So for myself, and starting to have eaten fish when I was pregnant, you know, that's a big no-no for people that are strictly vegan. So this is going to be something, because Amor wants to have his own channel. I said, let's at least take what we do, which is trying to at least commit to, regardless of what you might be going through intimately or privately, commit to eating. Turn off your phone as much as it rings, because Lord knows it was ringing right before we sat down, but being committed and saying, no, I'm going to turn it off for a second because this means a lot to me. And so what I wanted to do tonight was just show what you can start to order at restaurants that might not have like a whole bunch of vegetarian or vegan options. If you are a pescatarian and you do eat fish, you're gonna have a lot more fun because there's a lot more options for us. But I don't eat tilapia. I'm not a heavy like base fish person, but I'm gonna start having more fun. So tonight I wanted to show you guys what we've got here. What I've got is a beautiful plate of mussels, and that's Amor. I don't know if you can see yourself, but if you can, Amor's eating salmon carpaccio, which is made with arugula, capers, lime juice and lemon juice, tomatoes. Don't be afraid to eat salad, right, Amor? Is it not slamming? Hey, hey. So you want to still be able to eat, like, you know, include your vitamin C and your heavier, I would say, like, chlorophyll-rich foods. So that is excellent. There's, instead of having like beef carpaccio, you can have salmon. So that's the salmon carpaccio. Daddy is having something that I don't usually eat because it's got a lot of lobster sauce, but it's so tasty. It's black squid linguine. Black squid linguine is such a delicacy. It is served mostly in the Mediterranean as well as Spain and Italy, but it's highly iodine, a lot of manganese and selenium. Really good for your skin. This is made in a creamy lobster sauce and not a tomato-based sauce. Myself as well. Mussels. This is made in a white wine sauce. Mussels are heavily slept on because, of course, it's a base. It's more of a base scavenger, like type of like calamari, oysters. So a lot of people stay away from them. But the reason why I eat this is because not only as women, we should try to think of eating ovum and womb-based foods. So shout out to Yamaya and Oshun for this. But also, mussels are highly rich with manganese and selenium, and they've got this property in them that strengthen your teeth and your bones. So if you want to have strong teeth and bones and have a little bit of fun, very low in saturated fat. Yes, it's got a little bit of cholesterol, but you can minus that having a good run.
Word.
So what I wanted to show was, this is a fish-based family now, and I'm not apologetic for it. I don't eat fish more than 2-3 times a week, but again, what are you gonna do to create memories with your families, especially if you don't have a big extended one, right? We don't have grandparents, there's no aunts or uncles, so I'm finding myself making all these memories with more, but there's nobody to reinforce them. And that is huge. That is why villages and extended families really do work, but how am I gonna go to something extended if the digits are broken or if the people aren't all wanting to partake? You know, I've also noticed that, it's okay, I got it. I'm only gonna talk for like another minute because I'm about to eat my food. But that's kind of what I wanted to share and show, is that, you know, regardless to who or what and how busy life can be, we might, you know, things might pick up. Asir might be traveling. There's times that I do this by myself with Amor, but I spoke to him and I'm like, we gotta do this together, even if it's once a week.
Especially on Holy Day.
Especially on a Friday. So instead of doing this without the camera on, because it's whatever and people are around, snap that. We're gonna show what you can order, especially like at IHOP and Denny's and stuff like that, and what not to order. But Amor is gonna start to introduce his own little toxic and healthy versions of candy, chips, popcorn, all the stuff that we love eating, but he can't get at the regular gas station. So Cooking More with Less is introducing a night out, because that's what we do. If I can't create them at home consistently, then at least when he gets older, he'll have memories of us doing stuff together as a family and still trying to have fun. CookingMoreWithLess.com. Don't forget your mussels. Highly also vitamin C, vitamin D. A lot of people sleep on, you know, real food. So I don't do soy, we don't do tofu, I don't do like wheat gluten and heavy stuff like that. But I do fish. So for those that are like, how is that vegan? When I think vegan, I think no dairy. But I also have to be very true to the food rules and say vegan means that you're eating something that's not plant-based. So, you know,
all of these categories. Look,
and that's why I don't share this platform of Cooking More with Less with him, because he'll rip it apart and tear it down and,
eat what
you know,
your body
eat what
needs.
your body desires, but don't take it too far, and don't eat a whole bunch of Doritos and cheese whip. Okay, guys? So
Last
much
words
love.
to say, Amor?
Much love. Let's see if Amor has anything to say.
Peace, everybody.
Bye.
Okay, I don't even know if that flip thing is gonna work. So I'm keeping it real still, keeping it simple. CookingMoreWithLess.com. A book is gonna be coming out soon, and I will share it with you guys as soon as it's complete. Thank you guys for tuning in. Much love. I'm about to eat this when it's still warm. Peace out, homies. So I totally forgot that we pray over our food, and that is something that you need to show. But I didn't want to get all into it because we kind of keep things kind of private with that. But what I did want you guys to know is when you're eating out, there's a sigil that you can use over your food, and it's called 995. So like, let's say you're sitting in front of your meal, all you have to do is start, like let's say this is a clock, you're at 12, you wanna circle your food 995, 995, ending right at your heart, and 995. Sigilmancy and numerology and all that good stuff, rather than get into a huge lesson, what that does is it kind of creates an octahedron of protection around your food.
And what's an octahedron?
Tell them, Monsieur. An octahedron is almost like a double helix, but it's a prism that negates anything that might have been put into something that had a negative intent. So an octahedron is the vessel that allows that to take place. So it looks like, you know, those grids that they make you look at in the mall, where you kind of have to like focus your eyes and see the picture. It can look like that. It's kind of like a circle with a double X and all this greatness around it. It can be, it's an octo, meaning 8 and 4. It's an octahedron placed 4 and 8 times over your food. So that's what I wanted to show. My beautiful waitress from Prima Prasta actually just delivered it and heated it up for me again. So I'm gonna go in and eat. But 995 your food. Try to protect and create the best for yourself. And also give thanks to the ancestors and the hands that created it and prepared it and all that good stuff. 995, 995, 995. Peace.
Peace.